Do you often finish a meal and feel full but not entirely satisfied and then spend the rest of the day thinking about food? Well, I used to think that there was nothing I could do to change this. But in the last 5 years, I have been on my fitness journey and I have accumulated a number of hacks that help me win the battle against hunger, cravings, and the constant need of snacking. In this video, I wanted to show you specific lifestyle changes that I have implemented and that have helped me lower my body fat percentage and build muscle over time. When I was younger, I didn't really think about balancing my meals. I just ate whatever was in my fridge and that took the least amount of time to prepare. Now I make sure that every meal includes fiber, protein, carbs, healthy fats, and that it tastes delicious and makes me feel happy. So by fiber, I mean including veggies in your diet. It's really going to make your meal bigger volume so you can eat more food, but also it's going to slow down your digestion and help control your blood sugar. That way you're going to feel fuller for longer. And I experienced this firsthand when I did a vegan challenge for 30 days and ended up eating double the amount of fiber that I was used to. I really did feel like I had less cravings during that time, and ever since I've been trying to integrate a lot more fiber into my diet. Next, I make sure that I also have protein and healthy fats, which also help me feel satiated at the end of my meal. Last but not least, I do include carbs in my meals, and I really enjoy carbs. Carbs also fuel my workouts and taste absolutely delicious. So when I balance my meals in this way, I feel like it's less likely for me to have cravings or want to snack for the rest of the day. Now, if you are balancing your meals but still feel hungry at the end of it, it might just be your body telling you that you need to eat more that day. I had to personally realize that hunger varies from day to day. So in my experience, it's just better to have the extra snack when you're feeling hungry and listen to your body. The tricky part is figuring out whether you're actually hungry or you're just feeling bored and looking for something to do. And this is something you might need to figure out for yourself because we're all a little bit different. But for me, I always try to distract myself from my hunger first, and I do that by having a tea, a coffee, or maybe some veggies as a snack. Something like 50% of the time, my hunger will pass after that and I'll just forget about it. And the rest of the 50% of the time, I was probably really hungry and then I'll just have a bit of extra food that day. Another thing I found is eating smaller, frequent meals works really well to regulate my hunger. You're probably thinking, Lat, I don't have time to cook 5 different meals per day. Of course, I understand, neither do I. But what you could do, and what I've been doing, is splitting my meals in half, especially because they're high in veggies, they're gonna be a larger portion. And if I eat the whole meal in one sitting, I'd usually feel really bloated. So one thing I like to do is just split them, maybe a couple hours apart. That way, 1, I decrease bloating, 2, keep my hunger in check, and I'm eating more frequently throughout the day, so I'm less likely to snack in between. Oftentimes when I tell people that I am passionate about fitness, they think that I am a health freak and that I eat super clean. And the truth is that I like to eat everything in moderation and I don't really see foods as good or bad. I actually found that having the foods that I crave but in moderation is really the best way to avoid overeating them. My biggest struggle is that I crave chocolate all the time. And if I don't have it for a while, I'm able to go buy a chocolate bar, sit down, and eat the entire thing. But when I started having a little bit of chocolate in my oats and my smoothie bowls every day, I started to feel happy, satisfied, and my cravings for chocolate decreased. Also, by adding chocolate into my oats, for example, I would only add a little portion, so let's say like 2-3 squares in there, and it's gonna make the whole oats taste like chocolate, making me feel like I had a big portion of it. And in comparison, that would have so much less calories and be a lot more healthier than me sitting down and eating the entire chocolate bar. I also like to make healthy options of the foods that I crave because I feel like no food should be off the table. For example, this morning I had pancakes. I made them in a healthy way with eggs, yogurt, oats, banana. And if I'm craving something specific that doesn't really taste the same when I make it at home, I'll just have it and then try and include it into more of a balanced meal. So for example, if I'm craving fried chicken, I'll maybe just add a salad to it. One of the things that I like to do is try to opt for healthy snacks as much as possible. So for example, carrots and hummus, pepper and hummus. I snack often on peanut butter rice cakes. If that doesn't do the job and you're just really craving something specific like chips, for example, then I'll just have the chips and adjust my next meal. So maybe I'll just have some protein with salad the next meal to kind of balance it out. Another thing I try to do is not to keep any snacks at home. So when I go grocery shopping, I make sure I go when I am full because I'm less likely to buy unhealthy options. And 90% of the time that works for me because I am not motivated to get out of the house, and instead I will have a healthier option that I have at home. If you want to learn more about my fitness journey, I would suggest you watch this video next.